September 30th, 2025. Well, it's 9 years I've been on YouTube, and today just happens to also be harvest day for honey. I'm going to pull the two boxes on the two right-hand hives. I'm going to pull the second box up because I know those are full of honey, and we're going to drop the third and fourth box down, and we're going to basically call that our harvest for the season, unless the season continues long enough that we get full boxes in those third boxes. Even then, I might leave it on over the winter just to ensure they have plenty of resources. In any case, we're losing the light quickly here. It's just about 5 o'clock, and I got to get rolling if I'm going to make this happen. Okay, so I was going to wait till Saturday to do this, but I feel like we need to just get it done. My electric fence batteries have been switching out or fading. I don't want to have more honey on here to potentially lose, so when I get it done, I do have fume boards, I do have escape boards. I'm not spending the time on either of those. I brought along this table that was my dad's years back. It's like a bench table, so we have a place to set the hives so we can just go through with a compressor and blow the bees out, whatever are in the box. And I brought along my portable air compressor, and I got my little gun, and that should get most of our bees out pretty rapidly. I also brought along 2 garbage bags to wrap the boxes in. Paper here down in the back, and I suppose if they're wrapped in the bags we should be okay. So we should be able to harvest and drop everything in here fairly rapidly. So I gotta get the smoker lit and get rolling. Ready, jump. We gotta roll today. Hello, beautiful ladies. Just coming in to steal some resources, no big deal. Amazing how many bees are in here. Give them a little smoke. We're just going to pop these boxes off. In fact, I don't think I'm even going to pull that inner cover on this, because we're just going down after that second box up. Probably going to take some digging to get that off. Oh, my, that's a nice smell. I will, however, use a little bit of smoke. We always like to keep our ladies calm whenever we can. Oh, and she's heavy too. Forgot that one's got a good amount of honey in it. So we're just gonna set on top of this other one for now. And this is the box we're after. Here we go. First, I'm gonna try and use a good bit of smoke and drive some of these ladies out. If we can get any smoke in here with this crazy wind. This is a lot heavier than I would normally smoke for work, but we really want to drive them out. Right, now we're going to pop this off the excluder. Like that. Now we got a hive full of bees. And I guess what I should do is put this third box back on here. Maybe we can get some of those bees to go down into this box. There we go. Look out, ladies. That box actually has a decent amount of weight to it. So our third box became our second box right there. And I I'm gonna try and smoke some of these guys off of here first, I think. If I can get them to drop. I don't know if that'll work or not. No, not so much, huh? So, the thing is, I've never tried this compressor fruit. I've been told it works. I believe it will work, but I've never tried it. So let's find out. Ooh. Oh man, that's a lot of air. Yeah, I don't know. I might need to get a skateboard back here. That's a lot of air and there's a lot of bees in there. Let me see if I can drive some of these guys out. I feel like I gotta turn the pressure down there. Oh, they're all over me now. It's gonna work. It's like. Okay. Not really ideal. I think what we're gonna do. I think what I'm going to do is put our fourth box back on in the third box position, put our second box up on top, and then tomorrow I'll bring a skateboards or fume boards or something to drive bees in. Ugh, that's off center, huh? Well, now that's up on top at least. Alright, so I decided I'm going to go grab the escape boards quick and get those on tonight. I'll try and get a harvest on tomorrow. So while I'm driving back to get a skateboards and while I'm thinking about it, and I hope you can hear me okay over road noise, it made me realize that one thing I did not do before I went to harvest honey this year was walk through that process mentally. And what I should have done is gone back and reviewed my harvest in 2020 as a reminder of all the pieces of that process. But even if you don't do that, everything I do on the farm, many times in my head, I walk through the process before I ever go out in the field to do the actual thing. Because so many of these things are so critical where you can't make a miss. You know, if you do a foliar feed too strong or too weak, it's very hard to fix that. You know, too strong is you can't take it back. It's already down. All you can do is go back with water and dilute it later. That might not fix it. So it's those sort of things where you really need to get it in your head and then walk through it in your head enough times to be basically familiar with what you're going to try to do when you get there to do the task you're trying to do. I still have the same problem with drawing sometimes too, for the work that I do in AutoCAD. Oftentimes I'll go through something and I think I got it figured out, but I didn't walk through it as well in my head as I should have. And my friend Marty will say, you know, hey, you missed this here, and I'll just feel so stupid because it's something I shouldn't have missed. It's something I should have picked up, and if I had walked through it in my head mentally first, I would have. And that's the same thing here. I forgot. I used to shake each frame off and go into an empty box, and then you can, get all the bees off easily. I didn't have an empty box with me today, but I do have escape boards and I do have fume boards. We'll talk about both of those, but I'm going to go back and grab the skateboards right now, and we'll put those on, and that'll get the majority of the bees out of that top box. We'll put both second boxes up as box 4 on top, And then once they've had a few days for the bees to get out, we'll come back, and if we have to use the air gun or shake them out or use a fume board, we'll do that to get the remaining bees out. But I just thought I should mention that because I was debating as I'm driving back to grab the skateboards, debating whether I should even share that because I felt so stupid about it. But I think it's a good experiential thing for you to understand. And certainly this channel here is about learning, and especially learning from your mistakes and learning and evolving and overcoming not having those mistakes in the future. All right, let's get on with the light pretty quickly here, so I got to move fairly quickly. But these are skateboards, and basically what they do is they make a difficult pathway for bees to come up into and an easier pathway for them to come out of. So it's basically kind of like a check valve for honeybees. It's kind of easy for them to go through and get out, and when they come up, it's kind of confusing because it's not like a normal comb structure. It's kind of this maze. So the idea is as they exit the hive to go out and get more honey or do their job in the other part of the hive, they're unable to return. So we'll throw this on. I know the guy, my friend Ryan at Hudson Valley Bee Supply, said that usually about a day or so is about all you put these on for. But we're going to move that second box up to the 4th box position, and or at least on the middle hive like we did on the first hive. And then we'll put the escape boards on underneath, and then we'll go from there. Fading light, we're going to do this real quick. We got an escape board ready to go. Got another one for the other hive ready to go. We're going to pop this top cover and inner cover off. I'm going to set the box down on my table over here. I'll drop the escape board on, and then we'll put the box back on. To try to do minimal smoke. I said minimal smoking, I meant minimal disturbance from this point forward. But of course, we've kind of already done some disturbance, huh? Wow, look how many bees are on there. So, actually, I'm gonna leave them too. And we're just gonna pop this box off, make sure the camera angle's good. Yeah. I'm gonna pop this off quick, set it on that, drop our skateboard on, drop this right back on. And holy cow, I put this on upside down in my hurry. It's a good thing they glued those frames in. Let's hope that holds so I can get it right side up again. Man, I am just screwing up. Wow. Look how many bees are back in here now. Okay, we're just gonna set that aside a minute. And then I gotta get this off. Yep, we got some frames trying to slide out now. I can't believe I put this on upside down. What a total screw up day. There we go. Now we got it right side up. That's probably why they're all screwy. I don't know what to make of that. So we're going to drop our escape board on. See, we want easy exit and difficult ingress. So that's what we're doing there. So it's easy to go out and hard to find your way back in, comparatively. So escape board's on. And then we're going to put this back on. There we go, so hopefully you can see that. And I got them right side up this time. You know, some days. Alright, and then Notice I didn't even smoke these guys really, and they've calmed back down pretty well. So I'm going to put this inner cover back on too. They should sort out now that the now that the colony's right side up. They're probably like, what is going on? Somebody change gravity? Give them a nice slow drop and shake so we don't pinch anybody. There we go. We'll drop our outer cover back on. There we go. The skateboard Hive 1 on. Okay, so now we're going to replace box 3 and 4 in slot 2 and 3. We'll put box 2 on top at box 4 with a skateboard in between. So there we go. A skateboard under box 2 all the way up on top so bees can escape and then theoretically not get back in. And then that should clear out most of the bees, and we'll come back with an empty box or some way of sorting these frames off to another box. I might pick up and assemble one more box just so I have a spare and paint it later. Anyway, we're set up for harvesting honey soon. Nice to see they're still in here even in the late evening. So we got 2 escape boards on. That should give the bees a chance to get out, and in the next couple days or at the latest this weekend I'll come back with fuming boards and I'll show you how the fuming boards work, and we'll harvest this honey on out of here. For now I got fence work to do, so I'm gonna change out of my bee suit and hat, change into my fence builder hat. Right, I switched gears. And yesterday evening, as the light was fading, I came up here and just tried unrolling one of these sections of fence. It actually went really smooth and doesn't have nearly as much memory as I was expecting it to have. Memories where it kind of like curls back up like it was in the roll still. Not bad at all. And so I went over to Tractor Supply. I figured I'd use the dark time to get some errands done. And I picked up a half-mile roll of electric fence wire, just a string across the top for it to attach to, and then to run. Electric fence runs the rest of the way up probably, because as I do the math on the electric fence cost versus the cost of more vinyl coated chicken wire mesh, and that versus the need for that above 4 feet or so, it just doesn't really pay. So electric fence is a lot cheaper to do, so I think that's what we're going to do. Good Lord, talk about interesting timing. What is going on here? It's very swarm-like activity. Did I screw something up yesterday when I was here? I'm not sure. I can't imagine they would try to swarm this late. I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to have to, I think I'm going to put my bee suit on before I even get any closer, because they look a bit on the wild side at the moment. I got my bee suit on just in case they're feeling feisty. They really look like they're trying to get back into the second rectify whatever we screwed up, if we screwed something up. Man, that is some crazy activity. really don't understand what's going on. And it's mostly the middle hive that's all wacky. And maybe that's what's causing the problem. Maybe they're trying to rob out the 8-frame hive. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more bees on the 8-frame than there should be. And there's a few extra bees on the entrance of the south hive. This middle hive is just wacky. All right, we're gonna open that hive up and see what's going on, and hope we don't run out of light to do what we got. Okay, so just to give you a close-up of this wild activity. Very much around the escape boards. Yeah, I don't know. I think this colony kind of went rogue. I think they might be trying to rob out other colonies. This is very rob-like activity. Which is weird, you know? It's like it's a beautiful sunny day. It's a little windy and cool. It's certainly good enough weather to fly. There's certainly nectar and pollen resources available. I don't know, I'm going to get the smoker. I'm going to jump in on this hive and figure out what's going on and see if we can get these guys calmed down. I might not even get to harvest on them today. That was my plan. I brought the fuming boards. But I don't know. We got to figure out what's up. Did I put the escape board on backward maybe? Aha! I think that might be what I did. Yep. Or did we get a bunch of bees trapped? I don't know what is going on. This is wild. Just bees pouring out of this box. Oh, here we go. Man, are they ticked. Holy cow. I'm gonna pop this off. I don't know, I don't like how angsty they are. We're gonna get this off. Oh, that's one way to do it. I think we're gonna put this back on normal mode. Ooh. Crushing bees is not good. And then, I don't know what has happened since I put that on. And I think we're just going to put the cover back on this for now. Let these ladies calm down. Holy cow, they are just off the hook. Crazy right now. Oh, man, what a mess. I don't know what I did to that. And I don't really want to open this other box up to fume board it now. With all these bees in the air, it's going to be harder to get them out of there. To just put them in more of a robbing mode. So I think we're going to just leave it like that for now. Boy, talk about a year going sideways on you, huh? Okay, so I'm just going to leave the camera on the tripod here for a bit. We're going to monitor activity for a while. I mean, if I wanted to place everything back exactly, I'd put that top box all the way back down as the second box again. But that's heavy with honey, and I was planning to harvest that. But if that trips them over into this crazy robbing mode, maybe I shouldn't. Still like another 5 or 10 minutes later, there's still all this crazy activity. I'm peeking back over here as I've been working on the fence stuff, and I just kept seeing crazy activity over this way. It looks like it's starting to calm down now, but I don't know if that's just sunset related and I kind of have to pull back. Just about at dusk now. There's still quite a bit of wild activity going on up until the last few minutes as it's really cooled and chilled off. I'll shoot some of this video to Ryan and see what the deal is or whatever. So back here, Thursday, October 2nd. We still have some crazy, weird activity going on. Very strange. And this middle hive is still like Robbie rogue activity. I brought the fuming board with me again today. And now I'm debating what I do here. I don't know if I pull both of the boxes I planned to harvest and see if this hive settles back down, or if I just pull the right-hand hive that seems not to be all crazy from it. And I didn't get a peek in there yesterday, so I think I'll suit up and get a peek in that hive and assess it. And if I didn't screw up and put that board on upside down, maybe we'll pull that, fume board it, and then pull it, and then we'll go back into the middle hive again, I guess, and try and see what's going on in there. It's still such weird robbing-like activity. I don't know, I guess I gotta have a dig down in that middle hive if I have the light and the time for it. But I really want to get at least one box harvested off and out. So I'm gonna suit up and get rolling. Just want to get a close up here in the activity on the front of this 8 frame. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. I think that's it's robbing like activity. And all I can think is this middle hive must be going crazy when I pulled that box of honey up. But they shouldn't be. I mean, they should have plenty of resources, so I don't know. I guess we'll take a look. I will say the holy basil is continuing to flower out very nicely. And I don't see anybody in here working, so if they weren't so busy robbing each other, they could certainly be collecting. I don't know what the middle hive's issue is or problem is, but yeah, they're like fighting each other all over this hive like they're went robby. I probably should have pulled honey earlier. That probably would have helped. Right, what I'm going to do is I brought along a fume board. It's this thing, felt on the inside, metal on the outside, and I brought along some Bee Quick, which is basically a smell that makes the bees leave that box. And you don't want to overdo it because you can drive them right out of the hive. We don't want to do that. But so I'm going to pull the cover off of this, pop the escape board out. Assuming that I didn't have this escape board on backward and we don't have a whole box full of bees in here, I'll use this fuming board with the box back on the colony after the escape board's off to drive the bees out. That's the plan of action. We'll see what we get. There's bees in that box, so we'll see. I might have put these both on backward and really screwed the colony up. I don't know. Smoke in there to boy, it sure sounds like a lot of bees. This might be chock full of bees too. Huh. Well, there's quite a few bees. But I wouldn't say it's packed like the other one was. Just smoke them up good. And then we're going to pop this off quick so we can get the escape board off. They glued it down already. Holy cow. There we go. Okay, that's the escape board there. We got a bunch of dead bees. Look at all the dead bees on top of this. This is a disaster. Wow, they jammed the entrance right up with it. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Anyway, much better reaction than we had going before. We're going to smoke them a bit. just so we can get the fume board on. And I'm going to set this fume board up off to the side. Okay, so I've shot this. I tried to go around the edge and an X. Doesn't squirt all that well, but and that goes on under the box that you want to take off. So we're going to put this back on. Because as we drive bees out, we want them to go back into the colony, not just out on the ground. I say about 3 minutes of what I saw. That's the wrong size for a 10 frame, but it'll fit, I think. Maybe it's not the wrong size. Okay. So the fume board is on. We're going to wait 3 minutes, approximately. And that should drive the bees out of this box. And then we'll pull that box off, put it into a black plastic bag, wrap it tight so no bees can get back in it. Because if you don't protect the hive, they'll be right back in it to rob it. All 3 colonies will be right back in it to rob it. While we're waiting for the fume board, we'll just take a look at the front end of this colony. I don't see a big flow mass exodus, so I guess that's good. And we'll have another look at this colony up close while I'm right here. And actually that reminds me, I wanted to put this entrance restrictor down too. There we go. And we'll look at this one as well, up close. That is a tremendous amount of bearding for such cool weather. Also, I want to show you this activity here. This is on the middle hive. Up by that second box that's now up top. You see all the infighting that's going on there? It's very like a robbing, fighting type activity where they just start getting greedy and nasty with each other. Even bees can do that crazy stuff. That's been on for a few minutes now. Let's see. It is driving bees out, that's for sure. Not necessarily all down the bottom, but it's driving them out. I don't know, maybe I didn't put enough on the fume board. I'm going to put a touch more on just to make sure. That's a little bit stronger amount. It's a couple more minutes with, I think, plenty on it. We've driven most of the bees out, so that's pretty good. Not all though, so I brought the compressor over. So we'll look at that in a sec. What I'm trying to do is blow excess bees out with a combination of smoke and the compressor. But first, put the cover back, or at least the inner cover back on that. don't want to block your view, so I'll put the other one. We're going to smoke them heavy. I'll try and blow out whoever's left. Up in a bag. I'm going to put the top cover back on this. That's back down to normal. I want to have a look in this middle hive quick if we can. Alright, I closed the entrance restrictor on this before too, was letting the fume board thing do its thing. I want to have a look inside this hive again and see what's up. Give them a good dose of the smoke. Since they're so feisty. What I actually want to do is put the fume board on. Let's see if we can drive them down out of this box for a minute. Okay, so the fume board's been on for like a minute and a half or two. Got quite a few bees in it. I really still want to take this box off again and look at what's going on. So we're going to take it off. Also, that'll give me another heft to assess how heavy it actually is. There's a good bit in there, but not as heavy as I would hope. I don't know, can you see that? That's not too terribly full of bees. What we do is jump down and look at the first colony and see how much resource is in that. Oh man, that hive's pretty light. Maybe that's why they're so upset. I think I'm going to put this other honey box back in the second position and see if that fixes our bee problem. Maybe that's the only resource they had left. Because, yeah, all three of those boxes are pretty light, so they don't really have anything to eat. Interesting. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. This is our third box down here. This is our third box down here from before. Yeah, there's some honey in it, but it's not that heavy. And then what's this way? Oh, this way is virtually nothing. That's why they went Robbie. That's why they're pissed off. I should have checked that closer. All right, ladies, you can have your honey back. I do apologize for the interruption. Here's your other box. I have to say, as a person who builds a lot of computer equipment, beehives is a lot like computers. Many times you have to put something together, see if that config works, take it back apart, try another config, put it back together. The cool thing is, with these Langstroth hives, it's nice and modular. It's pretty simple to do the actual physical changeouts. It's more about understanding the bees, the season, the colony, the environment, all the stuff that's going on. I'll bet you these guys calm down pretty quick now. And we're not going into any more hives tonight. We've done enough disruption, clearly. And we got one box of honey I pulled off. There's a few more bees in there. I'll have to try and evacuate or something. It's probably 5 minutes later. Definitely seem like they're calming down a bit. I figure we give them an overnight, see how they do tomorrow. We'll figure it out from there.